I do want to talk about Oklahoma City, Royce, because we got you here, and there is so much happening. The Thunder actively looking for trade partners for Carmelo Anthony. Melo has been given permission to meet with the Rockets, to meet with the Heat in hopes of getting him to waive his no-trade clause as sort of a precursor to a deal. But remember, he could also get traded to a team that he wouldn't play for, just a team that would agree to absorb some of his salary and then cut him. So that's an option as well. And you can see here, it is a significant salary. This is the final year of Melo's contract, worth nearly $28 million. And of course, it's not just the paycheck. Melo's salary pushes the Thunder so deep into the luxury tax, waiving him via the stretch provision, that would just save a staggering $107 million next year. So Royce, that's a lot of options. I guess the first question I have, though, is looking at all these money issues, are they looking to get rid of Carmelo just because of this money, or is it more about fit on the court, and if it had been a better season last year, they would be trying to keep him?
I think the number one thing, Rachel, is it's definitely a money thing. And anytime you can save $100 million, you're going to do it. But if there's a certain level of player and a certain level of fit and a certain level of success, that would have changed, I think, the way that Oklahoma City would have approached this. Look, when they made the deal for Carmelo Anthony last year with the New York Knicks, sending in his Canner, sending Doug McDermott, the Thunder kind of viewed it as a 2-year thing. Now, I think that they understood that they had some measures to take to get off of the contract if they needed to. And so I think these two things kind of go hand in hand here, where it's a money thing because he's just not worth that kind of luxury tax payment to the Thunder. Now, if this Oklahoma City Thunder team had gone to the Western Finals, pushed the Warriors to 7 games, if they had been extremely successful and the fit was very natural between the 3 players on the court, they might view this through a little bit different prism. But when it's $100 million that you can save for a guy that really didn't necessarily fit at all, it really at that point just becomes a no-brainer.
Yeah, Rachel, it's kind of like what we talked about yesterday with the Rockets and the decision not to retain Luke Richard and Baamute. And we said, when that window's open, you don't know how long it's open for. So you owe it to your team as an owner to make the financial investment. I know it's steep, but you got to do it when you got to do it, when you have that chance, when it's right in front of you. Oklahoma City is not in that stage. They are not close to winning a championship. They are not one of the most competitive teams that we have outside of Golden State. So for that reason, it makes no sense to spend nearly a third of what Clay Bennett spent to buy the team, 10 years ago or so. It's just way too prohibitive a cost for a value that can never be recouped. They're not going to be much better than a second-round knockout. And for that reason, you do it. By the way, you also do the deal a year ago. You do it no matter what, because remember, they did it because they wanted to get Russ to sign that extension, and they needed to show him we can make things happen.
Yeah, absolutely. No question. And I want to kind of piggyback off that, because I don't think that you're the only one who thinks this is not even close to a team that would come out of the Western Conference Finals. Paul George re-signing with the franchise, Royce, was a huge coup for the franchise just in terms of a statement about them being able to sort of close the deal on his free agency and attract and keep a high-profile player. But when you look at them on the court, I want to show the projected starting lineup. What are the real expectations for this team?
I think that they're pretty high still, and I push back a little bit on the idea that the Thunder are just a easy first round or second round out, because there could be an addition by subtraction element here to this Oklahoma City Thunder team. And if you look at the 4 main players that they are going to start, Steven Adams, Russell Westbrook, Paul George, Andre Robertson, those 4 guys on the court together, put together one, and you could put any 5th guy in there. It didn't matter who it was, Ray Felton, Carmelo Anthony, me. It didn't really matter. They were going to be good on the floor. All the net ratings played out that foursome right there was very, very good. So there could be an element of you take Carmelo Anthony off the floor, you rework the roster, you rework the rotations a little bit. Paul George and Russell Westbrook have a much more natural, they're synced up a little more naturally than the trio was. Maybe the Thunder are better off just by the fact that Carmelo Anthony's gone, and the Thunder make a lot more sense now.
Royce, I agree with you. I think that sometimes you need to get someone out of the room for everyone to have a little bit more breathing space. And so they could be better, especially with Robertson coming back. We don't talk enough about how big of a devastating blow that was for them with his injury. But having said that, it's still the Warriors. it's still the Rockets, and hey, it's still the Jazz. I'll take Utah over Oklahoma City. And so we're talking about, all right, that's 3 teams. So if you're the Oklahoma City Thunder, even a very good year, you're still looking at playing one of those 3 teams in the second round, and I don't think they'd beat any of them.
I mean, first of all, I got to take I got to pick a little issue with you. I have not just a condo, but a palatial estate on Andre Robertson Island. I have been talking all through the second half of last season. He made a huge impact when he got lost for the season there. And I do think that addition is having him back is going to be a huge factor for them.